School closures, teacher layoffs, and federal dollars stalled in Washington, D.C. This morning, Democratic Congressman Lloyd Doggett joins us to talk about education. And thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Jade.
And real quickly, I want to go over some numbers, kind of set up what we're going to be talking about. In Texas, state lawmakers could cut $10 billion from education. In the Austin School District, the budget shortfall is nearly $100 million. And right now, $830 million of federal education money is stalled. In your amendment, it prevents the federal government from giving Texas stimulus dollars unless Governor Perry promises how he'll spend that money.
Yes, federal law now provides, with an amendment that all the Texas Democrats came behind, that federal aid to education must actually be spent in a way that helps our local schools. You know, Jade, a while back, I was captain of the safety patrol at Bracker Woods Elementary, not far from the station here. And I feel like I'm on a safety patrol of a little different kind up in Washington. I know what public education has meant to me, to my children, now to my grandchildren. And I see the retreat that is underway at all levels on education as really being a giant step backwards. We need to mobilize more parents to be concerned, be involved, to defend our schools from the dramatic cutbacks that are occurring. I do think enforcement of the amendment that I authored can help get added dollars here to Texas, and the only thing preventing us getting it is Governor Perry's signature on a 3-page application.
And I know a lot of parents are concerned, and they have been pretty active in Austin. They've been protesting and, going to the school board meetings and doing what they can, but some people are saying that this is really just political bickering between you and the governor. Well,
to some extent, that's because the governor has tried to make it that kind of thing, and even though there were 12 of us behind this amendment, to make it a personal attack on me. It's not about our political future. It's about the opportunities for thousands of Texas school children. It really is indefensible that education dollars we have sent to Texas previously for education were diverted and used to just fill the state budget gap by replacing state dollars. I believe it is critical at this time to get what could be almost $19 million to the Austin Independent School District. As you mentioned, almost $1 billion to the state of Texas. And the only requirement is use it for the schools. Add to the quality of our schools. Don't set back education just because these schools get federal aid to education. We're in competition with the Germans, the Chinese, the rest of the world. How we can compete and have a qualified workforce if we have decade-old science textbooks, if we're ending advanced placement courses, if we're closing neighborhood schools and laying off hundreds of school personnel, that's just not a way to achieve progress. That's a path to mediocrity.
Governor Perry argues that the amendment is unconstitutional, says he's not going to sign it. If he doesn't, what's the next step? I mean, what will happen to this money?
That's been a phony argument from the beginning, but now that the legislature is in session, it has no basis at all. He signed a very similar application 2 years ago to get federal assistance, and I believe as we move through this year, he has until September 30th to sign this application that only political ideology could stand in the way. He has never given any policy reason why federal education dollars ought not to be used to add to the quality of our Texas schools. It would be as if he took federal Homeland Security money and instead of protecting our border, he bought more parkland. Might be a worthy purpose. Maybe he has some other purposes he wants to use for this money. But if I'm voting and looking out for Bracker Woods and all the other schools of Central Texas up there in Washington, I want to be sure that my vote for education dollars actually helps our school kids. And they need it right now. The cutbacks that are being proposed at a time that Texas really is enjoying great prosperity just are not justified. We need to change the dialogue, and only by getting more parents involved, and it's great to see what has involved parents here in Austin, but only by getting more parents involved and staying involved will we get the commitment to public education that had traditionally been a bipartisan commitment in Texas, but now at the state level seems to be an attitude of great indifference to the importance of public schools.
One last question. I mean, if Governor Perry does not sign this, Will Texas lose out on this money, and will you feel responsible?
I'll feel that Governor Perry is 100% responsible if he would not take federal aid to education money and use it for education. We're not in the business of just funding Governor Perry's mismanagement of the budget. These dollars are for education, and I'll feel he's solely responsible if he will not accept monies for our schools at a time they need them. That almost $19 million would really help us here in Austin and in schools across the state.
Well, we will definitely keep an eye on this issue. Thanks for your time today, Congressman.
Thank you,
We appreciate it.